I've paid my dues, time after time. I've done my sentence, but committed no crime. And that mistakes, I've made a few. I've had myself and kicked in my face, but I've come through.
We are the champions.
I've taken my vows and my curtain calls. You brought me fame and fortune and everything that goes with it. I thank you all, but it's been no bed of roses, no pleasure cruise. I consider it a challenge before all human race, and I ain't gonna lose.
We are the champions.
Yes, people, welcome back to another stream, man. And today on this stream, we're going to be speaking about Phil Foden, about his potential positional change. Of course, we've seen him playing a different position recently over the last month or so. And obviously, we've heard the news that maybe Kevin De Bruyne might be injured. We'll probably speak about that a little bit more tomorrow. And this is his natural position, so it does make sense that at some point he will make a change. But before we get into it, make sure you guys have smashed the like, subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. To sort of start this conversation off, bro, and guys, make sure you give us your thoughts on this in the chat. What have you made of Phil Foden's season this year, man?
I think he'll look back on it and be annoyed because I think it's possibly a missed opportunity for him to have like the best season he's ever had and really put his name up there with some of the best in the world. And that's through no fault of his own. That's through injuries. That's through his appendix situation. Like if you remember before Christmas, Phil Foden started off. He left the blocks quick in terms of goal scoring. He was rapidly picking up the goals just before the World Cup. You remember the hat trick he got in the derby and the Eddie had in that 6-3. Like he was really, really finding a new level for himself. We always knew he was a top footballer, but he was starting to add the goals on top of that. So he was on track to have a serious season. Then the World Cup happened and he started picking up injuries in the second half of the season. The appendix thing, like I said, kicked in. So he had a lot of stumbling blocks, a lot of resets, a lot of things that set him back a bit. But every time he came back from a reset, he always did well. He always played well. So for him, it's just a case of trying to avoid injury next season and emulate the stats that he did this year and improve on them again. But I'm excited to see where the midfield thing goes, man.
Yeah, no, and I think the stats sort of back up what you're saying there. Like obviously before the World Cup here, you know what I mean, goal and assist, goal, hat trick in the derby, goal and assist against against Southampton. Then he sort of like just dropped a little bit, and you can see here from the minutes on the right hand side of the screen that he wasn't really getting too many minutes. He was maybe out of favour. And then after the World Cup, again a little bit out of favour. He come in, done well, got the appendix issue, which was a real shame and a real frustration because he was playing well again, which was disappointing. And then the rest of the season, again, he's been in and out the side. And yeah, I kind of agree, man. I think he's had a bit of a weird season. Obviously, as far as the club goes, he's had a great season. But I do think that maybe he'll look back on the season, and I think missed opportunity is probably the right word in that sense, in the sense that, it could have been a season for him to remember, but unfortunately, due to injuries and that, it just wasn't the case, man. So, it's certainly an interesting one, man. Talk to me about the sort of midfield situation, bro. What you make of the whole positional change thing?
I'm so here for it, man. I'm so here for it. Like, I know both of us, I know you're big into watching the academy football. I was the same for years. I loved watching the academy because it was part of that City Plus subscription. You can't even hear me now, can you? What I was saying was, anyway, I like watching the academy over the years, and I spent a lot of time watching them when Foden was coming up through the ranks. You know, he's playing with the likes of Brahim Diaz and Jadon Sancho. And Phil Foden was cooking. He was cooking as a number 10, as a number 8. He was the creative spark in his team over the years. And then he gets to the first team, and he's playing and training alongside the likes of De Bruyne, David Silva, behind Aguero, and he's seeing these kind of top midfielders, Gundogan even, and he's learning off them. Rude B. I know. The guy asked me a question, and then he just walks off. Like, can someone explain to me who does that? He goes, tell me your opinions on the midfield situation. Headphones gone. I'm off. He doesn't even want to hear it. Doesn't value my footballing opinions. He's like, nah, Hugh has poor ball knowledge, and he's getting off.
Bro, my face just blew up there, man. It was a madness.
This guy, when you ask me a question, you take off your headset and walk off.
Yeah, nah, bro. For some reason, my fucking eye then was absolutely killing, so I just went in the shower then and just fucking blitzed my face with water. Where was we, bro? What was you saying?
I was saying about, like, Foden's natural thing was 10-8 through the academy, playing with Jadon Sancho and Brahim Diaz and all these guys, and he gets to the first team. He's training alongside the best midfielders in the world, David Silva, De Bruyne, and then Pep kind of moves him out to the wing because he's not gonna come in as a number 8 or a number 10 ahead of these guys who are already established, world-class midfielders. So it was just a matter of him learning. I think Pep never wanted to rush Foden into midfield. He wanted to wait for the right time. And I know you lost faith for a long time that it was ever going to happen, didn't you? You thought it was just a case of, nah, he's a winger now. That's where he's going to be. I always felt because of his age, he's so young. It feels like he's a lot older because he's been around for so long, but Pep was just waiting for the right time to move him into midfield. And you think maybe that if Foden moves into midfield now, you could see a situation whereby we don't really go and look for an out-and-out Gundogan replacement. Foden and Kovacic may be the two options. So Foden could be the starter, and then if you need to shore things up or Foden needs a rest or need to move him back to the wing, you can bring on Kovacic. But I'm here for it, man. We all know, man. The chat all knows, Foden has the technical ability to play as a world-class midfielder. And I think learning off the players he has done, David Silva, for one, we know is a fact Foden looked up to massively. His footballing IQ should be high enough, and I've learned enough to do it. So I'm fully here for it.
Yeah, I think the Kovacic thing could be that, in the sense that you've got the steady pair of hands in Kovacic, and obviously more defensive-minded than Phil Foden. And then you've got that younger player who maybe needs a little bit more development in that position because he's not played there. But I think it's going to be really exciting. And of course, if we look at his game time this season, let me put the stats back up on screen. If we go over to the right-hand side, ads everywhere, innit? Look at the stats here. 16 times, or you add these in. So what's that? Like 24 times, whatever. On the left, right side, 9 times. And look at this, attacking midfielder 6 times, centre mid 2 times, centre forward 1. So he's played a few times this year. He has played a few times, especially in the last couple of in the last month or so. If you look at the numbers here, look at Brentford attacking mid, Chelsea attacking mid, West Ham attacking mid, Sheffield United attacking mid. Champions League is at the top. Obviously, he's played attacking mid a couple of times for England. Attacking mid yesterday, attacking mid against Real Madrid. So yeah, I think we could be. I think maybe what has happened. Yeah, I think maybe what's happened. This is what my belief is. I think that maybe Pep was told he's not going to get Bellingham. And then, because it seemed to happen like a month ago, about a month ago, we started seeing Phil Foden playing in midfield. And I feel like maybe a month ago, is that what happened? Maybe Pep was told that, nah, Bellingham ain't coming. And he's thinking, right, in that case, then Phil Foden's the guy. Maybe that's what he's thinking.
I think Phil Foden, the plan for him was to always be a midfielder eventually. Anyway, I think Pep Guardiola viewed Phil Foden as a younger Iniesta, as a younger David Silva, as one of these type guys. But we've been blessed to have top quality there already. That there was no need to rush him, and it was only going to benefit his learning by training alongside these guys. Anyway, I'm sure Pep has coached Phil Foden in training as a midfielder. I'm sure he's given him advice and tips and told him how to do the role, but. Yeah, I'm excited about it, man. I'm really excited about it. People are saying like, no, he's the Kevin De Bruyne replacement in the chat, and some people are saying he's the Gundogan replacement. I don't think he's any replacement. I think he's just Phil Foden, and he's going to be Phil Foden as a midfielder. I don't think he's meant to be coming in and trying to emulate what Gundogan's done. I don't think he's meant to be coming in to try and emulate what Kevin De Bruyne has done. Phil Foden possesses his own unique skills, and he'll possess his own threat to the opposition. So, I think it was only a matter of time. I always felt it was going to happen.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think he's anything like Kevin De Bruyne. I don't think he's anything like David Silva, and I don't think he's anything like Gundogan. I do think he's his own player, and yeah, it's going to be exciting to see how he develops. Because for me, I think this guy can go up levels, man. I think this guy's got so many levels. I think he's a potential Ballon d'Or type player. He's that good. You only have to hear what people say about him who aren't even connected to City. Gary Neville speaking about him. Southgate loves him. He's a top player, and I think that it's going to be exciting to see where he plays next year. And of course, if Gundogan leaves, Bernardo leaves, it makes sense to put Phil Foden in there with Kovacic and Ilkay Gundogan, and of course you do have Peroni there as well. Maybe McAtee would come back, who knows? And then maybe go out and focus your energy on buying 2 new wingers, maybe 3 if Mahrez leaves as well, which would be stressful, but. I think it's going to be super exciting, man. I really, really do.
Did you see what Steven Gerrard said about Phil Foden the other day?
No, I don't think so.
Steven Gerrard said live on television that he believes Phil Foden is the best footballer in England right now. In terms of like full package, in terms of everything, Phil Foden is the best footballer. Which is like you can disagree with it if you want. I mean, that's up to you. But to come from someone like Steven Gerrard, to
what English?
I think he said in the country, in England.
Oh, okay. I think Kevin De Bruyne is better than him, but yeah, I mean, talent-wise, he's certainly up there. He's certainly up there talent-wise. He just needs to get in the team and play, and I think next season he will. I've just looked at the stats. This season is his worst season for minutes out of the last 3 years. So he has struggled to get in the team, and obviously he's had that appendix. I mean, we called it at the time, didn't we? I remember talking about that appendix situation at the time, and I remember saying that came at the worst possible time, man, because literally he was playing such good football, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's out of the team, and we couldn't really just shove him straight back in because we was trying to close down Arsenal. We couldn't really put a guy in who wasn't fully match fit, so it was a bit disappointing that. But yeah, let me go through some of these member chats. Big up to Chase, says would give Peroni a chance to get time as well. Yeah, maybe. Clearly, City like him, and clearly Pep Guardiola likes him. So I do think there's a chance that that Peroni could get some minutes. I think pre-season for him would be big. Big up Chrome says, can't believe City finally got over the hedge and won the Champions League. Yes, bro. Mike says, I think I know why Pep didn't play Godfrey in the Champions League final against Chelsea. It's because he wanted to make Godfrey angry to make a monster. Okay, maybe. And Joe with the 30 months says, it hasn't sunk in yet. Treble winners. Wow, up the Blues. Let's do it all again next season. Well, that's the aim, as we spoke about that this morning. That is the aim for next season, is to go again. So yeah, we'll see on that one. But yeah, Phil Foden, man, I'm looking forward to see what Phil Foden can do in it next year. I think it's going to be a massive year for him. I think he's probably going to start most games, and it's probably going to be in the middle. I think, because the thing is, Phil Foden, he has to play more minutes next year. He has to. He's too good not to. And I think if he doesn't, that 2 seasons on the bounce that he's played, 2,500, 2,600 minutes, I think there could be a chance that he might be like, you know what, maybe there is a chance that I could get off. Hopefully that's not the case. But I do think that next season, Pep Guardiola will be playing in every game. And imagine Kevin De Bruyne and Foden in the attacking midfielders, bro. That is heavy.
It's a scary prospect. It's a scary prospect. You've got the older, more experienced one who's done it all. and you've got the younger, enthusiastic one who's been learning off these guys for a long time. So I think it forms a scary prospect. But the thing with Foden is, like, this season, if he wasn't set back by the things that he was, his injuries and his appendix and that kind of thing, if he hit the numbers that he was on track to hit based off the start of the season, he would be high up in the Ballon d'Or conversation right now. He would, because he would have continued his form and stayed consistent if he did. Obviously, this is all ifs, buts, and maybes, but if he did, he would have won a treble and would have hit those kind of numbers that we're talking about. So for him, it's about next season trying to do what he should have done this season, and maybe a little bit more too. Obviously, a new position will offer a new problem for him, a new trial, a new test for him, if you like. But there's no reason why he can't. And he has all the firepower around him. If you talk about Phil Foden behind Erling Haaland on a weekly basis, Phil Foden beside Kevin De Bruyne on a weekly basis, there's absolutely no reason this kid can't cook. He's a superstar. He really is a superstar. It's just a matter of him now reaching that ceiling that we've all believed he's had for a long time.
What do you think it was? Because, Pep sort of indicated that it was the sort of pauser that Foden lacked, but that's not really his game. His game is getting on the ball, making dribbles, making plays. Can a player learn that? I don't know if he's ever going to be like that type of Gundogan pauser guy. I don't know if he's ever going to be that. I think sometimes when you've got a player like Phil Foden, you've just got to accept that you're not going to get the pauser. And yeah, he might lose the ball a lot, but that's his game. Kevin De Bruyne loses the ball a lot. I don't really know if that's something that... I think we need to trial it. I don't think it's something that... it needs to be, you have to do this, because that's seemingly what it's been previously, is that you have to learn the pauser to play in the midfield. I think just trial it and see how he gets on.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll get a fair idea of what Foden's told to do and what he's allowed to do when you see it over the course of a number of weeks and months. You get an idea of what Foden really is as a midfielder. We've seen glimpses of it. We've seen what he can do when we have all the ball and he kind of has the license to free roam and do his kind of thing. But if he's given that actual number 8 spot, that actual midfield spot, and he's told this is now your role in the team, and he really has to dial into that sort of role, you'll see what the kind of story is over a number of weeks and months. But I think with the Porza thing, he kind of could, you kind of could develop it. I think it's just a case of Foden switching his mindset and adapting to what he's normally used to. I mean, on the wing, you're kind of told to go and be Phil Foden, flary, taking on full backs and, unlocking defenses. But in midfield, it's a whole different story. You've got to be a lot more careful with your passes. But you even see with Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish was of the same mentality as Phil Foden when he was at Aston Villa. Take on players, be creative, do your thing. And then Pep kind of molded him back into a semi-more Porza sort of footballer with a bit of what he had before. So it's a matter of coaching, really, and given time.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see the development of Phil Foden next season. I think it's going to go up a notch. I think he's going to play a lot more minutes. Like I say, this year he's only played, it's his worst season for minutes out of the last 3 years. So he has struggled, but there have been promising signs. First half of the season was brilliant. And then just before the international break in March, whenever it was, he was playing really, really well. And then unfortunately his appendix went, which what can you do about that? You have to get it done, and then he's out and then struggles to get back into the team, man. So yeah, it's going to be a madness. Anything else on Phil Foden, bro?
No, I'm excited for him. I'm really excited for him. It's always really exciting when it's an academy player. It is, he's a proper City lad, and the ceiling's very high for him. Like I said to you a few minutes ago, I watched loads of him in the academy. I watched loads of him growing up, and I always felt this kid could, the sky is the limit to use what's on his neck. The sky is the limit. And let's hope that next season he can really start to push for that, because this season he could have done, and he was set back a few times, but let's cross our fingers, man. I want Phil Foden to do well.
Yeah, me too. Interesting chat. Will Phil Foden play as an attacking midfielder next season, or will he still be playing on the wing? It's going to be an interesting one. If you're watching back on replay, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Just a quick one, innit? Because it's just a quick Phil Foden stream. But we'll back tomorrow. Obviously, it's the parade tomorrow as well, so we'll have some build up to that one. Make sure you join us, and we'll see you in the next one, back people. See you in a bit.